turned off our participants. If you have questions, please share in the Q&A box. You'll see the Q&A box at the bottom. Any questions you have, please share in the Q&A box. And for interpretation, if you want to go to the Chinese interpretation, just click on the interpretation button on the at the bottom, and you will get interpretation in Chinese. So let's get started. Senator, the Honorable Leslie Campbell, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. His Excellency, Mr. Antonio Hu, Jamaican Ambassador to the People's Republic of China. Mr. Stephen Yap, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Hong Kong. Dr. Noring Beg, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Pakistan. Dr. Jingjai Hang Chang Lash, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Thailand. Mr. Anthony Shaw, Managing Director of Development Bank of Jamaica. Ms. Diane Edwards, President of Jamaica Promotions Corporation. Mr. Fang Qiuchen, Chairman of the China International Contractors Association. Mr. Zhang Zuxing, Chairman of China International Risk Management Limited. My representatives from the Development Bank of Jamaica, colleagues from JAMPRO, colleagues from the Embassy in China, participants, friends, my name is Don Gittins, I'm manager of JAMPRO, and I will be your moderator for this evening. As we get into the agenda, first we're going to show you a video just to give you a taste of Jamaica. And thank you. We will now have
非常感谢。接下来，让我们来欢迎我们 Anthony Shaw 以及
followed by Dr. Noring Beg, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Pakistan.
Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, Minister of State to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, His Excellency Mr. Antonio Hugh, Jamaican Ambassador to the People's Republic of China, Mr. Stephen Yap, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Hong Kong, Dr. Noreen Beg, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Pakistan, Dr. Jing J. Hanshang Lash, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Thailand, Ms. Diane Edwards, President of JAMPRO, Mr. Fan Q Chen, Chairman of ChinaCha, Mr. Jiang Su Shin, Chairman China International Risk Management Limited, representatives of JAMPO, representatives of DBJ, potential investors, financiers, businessmen, the moderator, Mr. Don Gittins, manager, JAMPRO. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world, China, Pakistan, Thailand, or Jamaica, I send you greetings. On behalf of the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ, I welcome you to this virtual infrastructure investment opportunities forum. The government of Jamaica knows that reliable infrastructure is critical to the country's economic development, and we are aware that Jamaica's resources are inadequate to deliver all required services in an efficient and timely manner. Therefore, private finance and expertise are critical. This forum has been arranged for potential investors, financiers, and private sector companies in China, Hong Kong, Pakistan, and Thailand to highlight several of these projects being developed in Jamaica. For more than 2 decades, the DBJ has been the chief implementing agency for the Jamaica government's public-private partnership and privatization program. Over this time, we developed considerable expertise in this area and have executed several PPPs and privatizations across various sectors. We have successfully completed more than 30 transactions in transportation, energy, agriculture, and tourism, and facilitated approximately US $2.1 billion in investments, which is comprised of US $453 million in revenues from asset sales and US $1.7 billion in investments by the private sector. The more notable recent PPP transactions are the School's Solar and Energy Efficiency, Kingston's Norman Malley International Airport, and the Kingston Container Terminal. In 2019, the government privatized the Wigton Wind Farm, a windmill farm via the Jamaica Stock Exchange, raising Jamaican $5.5 billion with over 31,000 shareholders. The DBJ is currently working on several projects, including the Greater Bernard Lodge Development Project. This is a conversion of approximately 1,715 acres of former sugarcane lands through a competitive bidding process. The Rio Cobra Water Treatment Plant, a National Water Commission All-Island Non-Revenue Water Reduction Project, and the Solid Waste Management PPP project. I take this opportunity to encourage investors to examine these investment opportunities, of which the necessary details are included in the investment opportunities booklet, which has been provided to assist in your decision. As our sister agency, JAMPO, will remind you, Jamaica is open for business. We have educated, trained, and trainable workforce, and we are ready to facilitate investments to advance Jamaica's development. I thank everyone involved in making this virtual infrastructure investment opportunities forum a reality, especially our partners at JAMPRO and the Jamaican Embassy in Beijing. I wish you all a successful forum, and we look forward to hosting many of you as investors in Jamaica in the near future. Thank you.
We now go to Ms. Diane Edwards, President of JAMPRO, Jamaica Promotions Corporation.
Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, His Excellency Mr. Antonio Hu, Jamaican Ambassador to the People's Republic of China. Honorary Consuls all, Mr. Anthony Shaw, Managing Director, Development Bank of Jamaica, Mr. Fang Chi Chen, Chairman, China International Contractors Association, Mr. Jiang Shu Xin, Chairman, China International Risk Management Limited, representatives from JAMPRO and DBJ, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to our esteemed guests from China, Hong Kong, Pakistan, Thailand, and of course, Jamaica. First, I bring greetings to you from Senator the Honorable Aubin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and on behalf of the Jamaica Promotions Corporation, JAMPRO, I welcome you to this virtual Infrastructure Investment Opportunities Forum. As Mr. Shaw, the Managing Director of DBJ, stated, Jamaica is open for business, and we are delighted to have this opportunity to showcase infrastructure opportunities. I want to thank all my colleagues and team members who have made this possible, with special thanks to the Jamaican Embassy in China and the Development Bank of Jamaica. The infrastructure opportunities that will be presented to you this evening are critical infrastructure assets deemed important by the Government of Jamaica, such as the Caymanas Special Economic Zone, renewable energy, integrated solid waste project, water projects, just to name a few. At JAMPRO, we promote investment opportunities targeting a number of key sectors, including logistics, infrastructure, energy, manufacturing, mining, tourism, agribusiness, global digital services, film and animation, and music. JAMPRO is your point of contact for doing business in Jamaica, and we want you to reach out to us as we help to make your investment process simpler in collaboration with our many sister agencies. I also take this opportunity to encourage investors to examine these investment opportunities being mentioned today, and as stated, the necessary details are included in the Investment Opportunities booklet, which has been provided for your perusal. I wish you a successful forum, and we look forward to hosting many of you as investors in Jamaica in the near future. Remember, Jamaica is open for business. We look forward to welcoming you in the near future. Thank you.
And we now have opening remarks as well from Dr. Noreen Beg, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Pakistan. Dr. Beg. Okay. We'll come back to Dr. Beg shortly. But at this time, so we can keep it moving, we'll go to greetings from His Excellency Antonio Hu, Ambassador of Jamaica to the People's Republic of China. Ambassador Hu.
Thank you. Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Mr. Stephen Yap, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Hong Kong, SVR. Dr. Noreen Beg, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Dr. Jin Jaha Lash, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Kingdom of Thailand. Mr. Diane Edward, President of JAMPRO. Mr. Fang Chiu-Xin, Chairman, China International Contractor Association. Mr. Jiang Shu-Xin, Chairman of China International Risk Management Group. Distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and good morning to our colleagues in Jamaica. It is my great pleasure to greet you all as Ambassador of Jamaica to China, with jurisdictions in the Republic of Pakistan, the Kingdom of Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. It is my signal honor to welcome all of you to this, our inaugural virtual infrastructure investment forum. We are delighted and honored to have with us today our Industry, Foreign Affairs, and Foreign Trade Minister of State. The presence here today is a powerful testament to the importance Jamaica attaches to strengthening the ties that bind Jamaica and China, and to adding new important dimensions to Jamaica's treasure relations with Pakistan and Thailand. On behalf of Jamaica Embassy in Beijing, I would like to thank you, our co-organizer, the Development Bank of Jamaica, JAMPRO, and the China International Contractor Association for their hard work in putting this forum together. I also wish to extend my personal appreciation to the Chairman for his unwavering support of this event, and convey my gratitude to Mr. Zhang Zuxin for his significant contribution to this afternoon discussion. Finally, I wish to convey my thanks to all Chinese, Pakistani, and Thai business leaders, officials, and members of the media for your participation. Ladies and gentlemen, this forum is aimed at providing key insights on specific public-private partnerships and privatization infrastructure projects in Jamaica. But it also presents an opportunity to brainstorm ways in which we can take our investment relations to a new level. It is my hope that it will result in a call to action strike new infrastructure partnership between Jamaica and its partners countries with a specific focus on high standard and strategic investments. After all, the path to a sustainable and prosperous future requires the right partnership to overcome any gaps and challenges. At present, the COVID-19 pandemic is still plaguing economic development around the world and has threatened the livelihood of our citizens. Infrastructure development will be a critical factor in global economic recovery, given its role in international development and a key determinant of well-being. In this regard, Jamaica is committed to stimulating the national economy through the development of high quality and sustainable infrastructure. In order to achieve its national development goals, over the years, we have experienced notable success through our cooperation platform with China. The Chinese companies have demonstrated their profound friendship by generously donated medical supplies and epidemic prevention materials to local communities following the outbreak of COVID-19. Such is the multi-dimensional nature of Jamaica and China relations. Our country,
中加两国之间的重要的关系，
since the establishment of diplomatic relations in 1972, and we have been enjoying deepening trust, fruitful cooperation, and growing people-to-people exchanges. In keeping with this sentiment expressed by my Minister of State, it is this deepening trust that motivates Jamaica to sign onto the One Belt, One Road initiative. Jamaica intends to take concrete steps to maximize this transformational impact of initiative to ultimately contribute to the joint building of a community with a shared future of openness, and cooperation. This year, Jamaica and China will celebrate our Golden Jubilee, marking 50 years of friendship, solidarity, and mutual respect. It is my hope that we will, as strategic partners, continue to enjoy a fruitful collaborations at the bilateral, regional, and multilateral levels. Ladies and gentlemen, today, as we seek to strengthen ties and bring more benefits to the people of our countries, allow me to reaffirm the unwavering commitment of Jamaica to the advancement of dialogue and people-to-people exchange. In conclusion, I hope this event will catalyze fruitful discussion, encourage new connections and collaboration that will lead to tangible benefits to our citizens. I thank you.
And thank you for those wonderful, wonderful words. I now move to Mr. Fang Qiuchen, Chairman of the China International Contractors Association, to bring us his greetings.
Excellency Ambassador Hugh, and Mr. Shaw, Managing Director, Development Bank of Jamaica. Distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from Beijing. It is indeed a great pleasure for China International Contractors Association, CINCA, to co-hold this very important forum. And I'd like to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation and respect to all the participants who join us online. As we all know, this year marks the 60th year of the Jamaican independence and the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic ties between China and Jamaica. So today's event, being held in such an important occasion, will for sure enhance the bilateral infrastructure cooperation in a post-pandemic era. So we are delighted to note that China now is Jamaica's largest source of foreign investment and major economic cooperation partner. In the past years, bilateral economic cooperation has maintained a very good momentum. Especially in April 2019, the two governments signed the MOU on Belt and Road cooperation, making Jamaica one of the first countries in the Caribbean region to sign this MOU. We have seen quite some of the infrastructure projects which were successfully invested and constructed by the CINCA members in the fields of the expressways, water conservancy, park development, industrial parks, and some other people's livelihood-oriented projects. For example, I can recall that China Harbor Engineering Company had invested and built Jamaica's first ever in history, the South-North Expressway, which effectively cut the travel time between the South and the North in half, promoting social development and producing considerable economic benefits for Jamaica. And this is just a snapshot of what we CINCA members do in Jamaican infrastructure sector. As the ambassador just now said, the investment, construction, and upgrading of the infrastructure plays a very important role in the stimulating one country's economic growth. So at present, the COVID epidemic has greatly affected the international infrastructure cooperation. And we are quite confident when suspended or postponed projects gradually resume from the impact of the current epidemic, the international infrastructure market will embrace new development opportunities. So CINCA members, not only strong in project designing, construction, and operation, but also very competitive in mobilizing additional resources to support infrastructure projects through public-private partnership. And we will for sure have more opportunities to cooperate with Jamaican partners to make investments in the Jamaican infrastructure sector. So this online forum today is held in an effort to further implement the cooperation consensus reached by the two governments and to advance cooperation by sharing information and identifying prioritized infrastructure projects. So I'm quite sure that it will bring many new opportunities to both Chinese and Jamaican companies and contribute more to the bilateral infrastructure cooperation. So I do hope today's presentations from the Jamaican relevant authorities will provide the Chinese companies rich, on-time, and valuable information of investment policies and business environment of Jamaica, especially the infrastructure investment opportunities. So I would believe that all the Chinese participants online, which are more than 90 companies today, will also benefit from this useful information, which are going to be shared later on by the presenters in this forum. So last but not least, thank you once again, Ambassador Hu, for organizing this very important forum. And I wish the forum a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. And we now move to our keynote speech by our very own Senator, the Honorable Leslie Campbell, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Senator.
Chairman?
Senator Campbell?
Chairman?
Yes?
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, sir, I'm hearing you now.
Thank you.
Okay,
I'm
great.
I am having some challenges. I'm actually in Mexico City, so I might be part of the challenge I'm having, notwithstanding.
That's fine, we can hear you.
Very well, thank you.
All right.
Senator the Honorable Aubin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, His Excellency Antonio Hu, Ambassador of Jamaica to the People's Republic of China, Mr. Stephen Yap, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Hong Kong, Dr. Noreen Big, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Dr. Jingshai Janhan Chanlash, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to the Kingdom of Thailand, and I sincerely hope I got that right. Ms. Diane Edwards, President of JAMPRO, Mr. Fang Kui Chen, Chairman, China International Contractors Association, embassy staff and guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good day to you all. It is a pleasure to join you at this, the first virtual infrastructure investment forum, which is geared towards business leaders and stakeholders from China, Pakistan, and Thailand. This forum is rather timely as we prepare to emerge from a pandemic which has brought unprecedented disruption to our economies and societies. It represents an opportunity to create new partnerships that will add momentum to the recovery of our national economies and accelerate the revitalization of our production and supply chains. I'm particularly pleased to note the participation of China International Contractors Association in this event. I'm aware that some of your members are already involved in important infrastructure projects in Jamaica, which serves as a testament to the strength of the Jamaica-China cooperation. It is often said that if we act together, we will win together. And the Jamaica-China relationship is an embodiment of this saying. China has consistently demonstrated its commitment as a key development partner by being our largest source of official development assistance. Additionally, there have been significant investments by Chinese companies across a diverse range of sectors, including infrastructure development, mining, and agriculture. It is against this background of friendship, mutual respect, and cooperation that Jamaica became the first country in our region to sign on to the Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative is not limited by factors such as physical distance and geographic size, and focuses instead on building bridges that are meant to take our strategic partnership to new heights in the spirit of the Silk Road. The Belt and Road Initiative, in our view, is an inspirational example of the positive global influence of China in today's world. Through the over 200 cooperation documents signed under the initiative, a number of our new opportunities for economic growth and common prosperity have been created for many developing nations. This speaks to the commitment of China to ensure that development cooperation brings mutual benefit, not only for itself, but for its partners. I am very pleased to know that in November of this year, Jamaica and China will celebrate our Golden Jubilee, marking 50 years of friendship, solidarity, and mutual respect. We expect to continue to expand our cooperation as we strive for the common goal of stable economic growth and development for our people and nations. Ladies and gentlemen, as Jamaica celebrates 60 years of independence, we intend to increase the frequency and the scope of our policy dialogue with partner countries. Within this framework, we intend to develop innovative and lasting platforms for direct interaction between policymakers and businesses, and we will seek to finalize useful treaties and MOUs, which will serve to build mutual understanding in order to create more opportunities for businesses to thrive. Looking to the post-COVID era, trade and investment operations between Jamaica and its partners in China, Pakistan, and Thailand will enjoy new opportunities and prospects. We welcome every industry titan such as M. Anwar Qureshi, chairman of Ramada Hotels in Pakistan, who is here with us today, and invite him and his team to visit Jamaica and experience our unique tourism sector, which, as you will hear from our speakers, is moving at bolt-like speed in its expansion and recovery. I am confident that with our governments and our business communities working together, our trade and investment cooperation will grow and expand to the benefit of our peoples. In conclusion, I wish to convey congratulations to the organizers, including the embassy in Beijing, for its role in making this afternoon a reality. I wish all the participants in this forum and its networking segment successful outcomes from engagement here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Very well said. And thank you for making the time all the way in Mexico. We'll now have the presentation on risk management by Mr. Zhang Shu-Shin, Chairman of the China International Risk Management Group Limited. Chairman?
尊敬的牙买加驻华大使馆邱伟基大使先生，尊敬的各位今天参会的牙买
His
加。
Excellency Mr. Antonio Hu, Jamaican Ambassador to the People's Republic of China, Dr. Norin Beg, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Pakistan, distinguished guests today, I'm very glad to attend today's Infrastructure Investment Opportunity Forum. I have a specific passion for Jamaica, especially the Blue Mountain coffee. As you may know, in 2011, the first shipment of Blue Mountain coffee was shipped to China's Zhejiang provinces. As you know, the China Risk Management Group is a risk management company, and I also own a high-tech investment company. My team and I are dedicated to researching high-tech innovative products to help international engineering risks and management. We have maintained an enabling cooperation with the Embassy of Jamaica. Next, I'm going to talk about my personal 30 decades of experience and my exchanges with international friends to tell you about some of my thoughts on Chinese enterprises in foreign investment. On April 29, during the meeting between the establishment of the foreign relations between China and Jamaica, our Foreign Minister Wang Yi pointed out that the destinies of each country are unprecedentedly interconnected. China and the Caribbean countries need to strengthen solidarity, cooperate with each other, deepen cooperation for a shared future. This has injected new impetus for the economic and trade relations between our two countries. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the beginning of China-Jamaica foreign relations. Jamaica is among the first in the Caribbean region to sign the memory of understanding regarding the One Belt and Belt initiative. As you know, the intelligent Chinese people has been always working very hard for prosperity. We have utilized our intelligence, wisdom, and technology to find business opportunities. We don't want to see any complicated factors to affect our relationship. And also, this will lead to the unclogged development of projects. When we open up a new market, we want to implement several factors. Then we will be determined to invest. And next, I will introduce you a case. So we have a very close interrelations with a president in a South African country. Each time when we go to the country, they will meet us personally. We have designed a 5-year plan for the country for the power shortage. We have helped 64 villages to realize the power supply 24-hour, and also they could use the modernized utilities to enjoy telecommunications, broadcasting, clean water, and also health and sanitary monitoring, so as to help the local people to realize the huge developments in social and economic arenas. This system includes the solar power, the clean drinking water, television, satellite and internet, also broadcasting, also housing and many other areas. Unfortunately, at that time, for the short-term interests, they find other channels to find our counterparts, only buying a few couples of solar power equipment. And then they have lost in the political election in the country. Therefore, the previous agreement was invalid. And so our perfect cooperation was in vain. This lesson told us that if the Chinese companies want to do businesses in foreign countries, we must have regulations. So during the case, we can see we have some loss and we cannot continue the program. Also, the future programs will also be impossible. But in general, it will hurt both our side and their side. And at that country, they need to improve the livelihood of people to the fullest. This opportunity is very precious because people will be the beneficial one in terms of our projects. So how should we ensure the signing of our cooperation will be smooth? That's our point. So I hope that the Jamaican country, when importing Chinese enterprises, they can send them some relevant legislative information. Otherwise, the enterprises will be hurt. So recently, the incidents remind us that we need to build an enabling business environment for foreign businesses. And also we need to enhance the evaluation for the foreign investment risks. We have formulated a series of documents, including the Overseas Security Risk Early Warning and Information Notification System. So as you can see from the whole process of foreign investment, we need to have an enabling safety mechanism and risk prevention system. We must evaluate those unpredictable and those programs that do not have the capability to adapt to the foreign business environment. And based on such regulations, we need to have subsequent measures. We need to strengthen safety education and management and strengthen safety awareness. Based on the principle of whoever dispatches who is responsible, we need to enhance training and provide them the ability for self-protection. Also, we need to strictly implement the foreign economic cooperation business management regulations and effectively control the safety. Third, we must provide them the ability for safety evaluation and also guarantee for the business interests. And if necessary, we will hire armed police to enhance our protection capabilities. Although we have improved some relevant laws and regulations, but due to the inadequate preparations, we still may encounter some risks, which will affect China's enterprises in going global. So before their businesses overseas, they need to evaluate the risks first. So I have some suggestions here. So whether we can set up a Chinese funded or China-Jamaica joint ventures in Jamaica. Which, from my perspective, will provide relevant feasibility study for China-Jamaica cooperation projects.
Next.
Secondly, so when complying with the Jamaicans' laws and legislations, whether we can establish a private security company funded by the Chinese or Jamaica side. In certain projects, Chinese companies are allowed to hold security forces by themselves or jointly form security forces with the local area. Thirdly, we must formulate a community with a shared future for win-win cooperation. Chinese President Xi Jinping has formulated the principle of the building of the community with a shared future for mankind, and we will use the livelihood improvement as our starting point. We need to deliver tangible benefits for people across the world. China's construction will transfer our good technologies and products to other countries and promote our productivity cooperation, which will bring some high quality infrastructure programs for other countries and also boost the local economic development and ecological protection and talent training and many other areas. Finally, I want to conclude with a Chinese quote. We need to be worried before the people and be happy after the people. As a Chinese entrepreneur, I'm willing to strengthen cooperation with other countries and seek common interests and happiness for our peoples. Thanks.
Thank you so much for that information. And I'm sure it would have been tied in specifically with exactly what we were saying here. So they both tie in together. I see Dr. Naren Beg is on, Honorary Consul of Jamaica to Pakistan, and I knew he had some remarks to bring. So Dr. Beg, you can bring your remarks at this point in time. Go ahead.
Thank you so much indeed. I am from the Honorary Consulate of Jamaica to Pakistan. I congratulate Embassy of Jamaica, Beijing, Development Bank of Jamaica, in partnership with JAMPRO for organizing this first time virtual infrastructure investment opportunities forum. The forum will provide insight on specific public-private partnership and privatization infrastructure projects and highlighting the lucrative investments opportunities in Jamaica. I acknowledge with highest esteem the presence of honorable and distinguished speakers to speak on the forum today, and other distinguished speakers, notable professionals, to share the insight. I particularly acknowledge Senator Honorable Leslie Campbell, the Minister for State for Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, His Excellency Antonio Hague, the Ambassador of Jamaica to China, Mrs. Diney Edward, President JAMPRO, and Mr. Anthony Shaw, Managing Director, Development Bank of Jamaica. I would like to thank Ms. Melissa Weiss, the Minister Consular Jamaica and Embassy of Jamaica, Beijing, for her continuous support till last minute, before even 5 minutes, to extend it to our consulate and letting us understand the mechanism and for a full participation. I'm truly, truly grateful to her for her kind assistance and support. We have 12 leading businessmen and professionals participating in the forum, including Mr. Anwar Qureshi, Chairman Ramada, who has interest to establish Ramada chain in Jamaica, one of the most favorite tourist destinations of the world, offering best beaches like silver sand. And I still remember the great hospitality of my very dear friend, late Honorable Arnold Foote, the former president of World Federation of Consuls, FICAC, with whom I visited Jamaica twice. It was an impressive presentation by the learned speakers and dispensing more and more information. I would just like to state that One Belt and Road Initiative, which is started by China and Pakistan also under CPEC, China Economic Corridor, is definitely a pivotal point and an initiative to bring countries of the region together. Of course, China, Thailand, Pakistan, and Jamaica is no exception. So I think we should work specifically on more and more projects of One Belt, One Road in Pakistan corridor, and we have huge projects already completed and they are operational. I'm also looking forward to visit of Mr. Anwar Qureshi, the chairman of Ramada Hotels in Pakistan, who is very interested to do investment in Jamaica, and inshallah we'll be coordinating with our counterpart the visit of Mr. Anwar Qureshi to Jamaica for the tourism projects, particularly hotel industry. I wish all the success to the participant and assure my full cooperation. This is just the beginning, is giving us a roadmap and the guidelines how to move about it. We have enough information to share to the people. Those are truly interested in Jamaica to invest. And I think it's a good beginning. Thank you so much. And thank you for providing me an opportunity to share my views. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Beg. Thank you for those kind words. We're now going to go to our main presentation, which is developing sustainable investment opportunities in Jamaica, where you will get to learn about public-private partnership and privatization program in Jamaica and look at specific infrastructure investment opportunities currently being developed in Jamaica. Now, as we go through this presentation, I want you to know that this is just the beginning. This is just the start of us having a continuous conversation We want to be able to present this to you, but we want you to come to us and ask us additional questions. We want to move the investment forward. So just know that this is just the beginning. Just a presentation overview. I will present to you the quick facts about Jamaica. I'll give you some information on the Cayman Special and Economic Zone, the Kingston Logistic Park, and its opportunities in renewable energies, which is key to Jamaica's energy program right now. And then Mr. Ricardo Monroe, manager for the Public-Private Partnership and Privatization Services from the Development Bank of Jamaica. He will speak to you about the P4 program and world-class excellent program it is, and the Integrated Solid Waste Management Project. Then we go to Glacier Cunningham, the Vice President of Enterprise Development and Performance Management at the National Water Commission, and he will speak to you on National Water Commission projects. As well as Rashida Winter, Manager, Public-Private Partnerships and Privatization Services, will speak to you on a project that is the Greater Bernard Lodge Development Project, and then we will have any questions and answer. Now, let me just give you a few quick facts about Jamaica. And these quick facts we'll go through. So I represent an organization called Jamaica Promotions Corporation. As you would have heard, the president of Jamaica Promotions Corporation, John Pro, said that we are the single point of contact for investors coming into Jamaica, and we help you to navigate the bureaucracy that it is within Jamaica. And we help to make it an easier transition for you. We are open and transparent investment regime, stable and supportive democratic government. We are actually the largest English-speaking country in the region of about approximately 3 million persons. But I want to focus on the last 6 points. The strong road infrastructure across the island, which has been helped in no short part by Chinese investment, trade agreements with several countries, as well as double taxation treaties. We have no foreign exchange controls, zero restriction on foreign ownership, and no restrictions on repatriation of profits. So this gives you a small, quick view of the investment climate as it relates to Jamaica. I will now have a discussion with you about
接下来我会将和你继续讨论，比如说我们的金士顿的物流公园。这个公园是牙买加政府的重点的建设项目，大约占地有80公顷，将会用来进行我们物流产业园的一些工作，其中也会有不同的地区，已经有不同的领域。
And these presentations, I saw someone ask if the presentation can be shared. Yes, we're going to share the presentation with everyone when we're finished, so that you can go through it and ask any questions after. Remember, I said this is just the beginning, just a start of our discussions. And the Port Authority of Jamaica is very interested in someone coming and helping them to move this project along. As you can notice, I will show right here where we have, I'm not sure if you can see my cursor. Right, that portion of green land right there which is right adjacent to the Kingston Container Terminal, which is the Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited, which is our main port. That portion of land, which is adjacent to that, is a portion of land that the Port Authority of Jamaica is looking to develop as part of the overall Kingston Logistics Park. They've already built a 200,000, approximately 18,000 square meters of modern warehouse space, and they're looking for further investments. So this Kingston Logistics Park is one that's ready, and we feel any discussions with the Port Authority where the Kingston Logistics Park is concerned. Next is the Caymanas Special
接下
Economic
来我想介绍的是卡曼纳斯的经济特区。
would be a transformative project for Jamaica. What we are looking at is a zone which will have create a significant amount of opportunities for Jamaicans. We're looking, it's about over 400 acres of land fully owned by the government, and we're looking at how we can have it developed by an investor, managed, operated, and marketed by that investor through consortium of companies coming together. And we want to ensure that this is a project that we can get done. The approximate projected cost, CapEx, is about $220 million US. And we've already finalized a feasibility study. So information on the Caymanas Special Economic Zone can be furnished for those who wants to identify additional information. That zone is looking at warehousing, distribution, logistics value add, shared services, light manufacturing, and those types of operations within the special economic zones. And this is significant for us because, like I said, this project would be one where it would be a transformational project as it relates to the logistics arm of Jamaica, given where we sit in our geographical location right by the Panama Canal and the routes that we take. It would be significant for us. We'll have additional information on the Caymanas Special Economic Zone for those who are more than well interested. We have significant information where that is concerned. I will now move to the renewable energies investment opportunity. The government of Jamaica did what is called an integrated resource plan for electricity generation. And that integrated resource plan is a 20-year roadmap that shows us how we add additional renewable energies on to the grid. Currently, we are about 14% of renewables. We do have solar farms, 2 solar farms. We do have small hydro, and we do have one of the largest wind farm in the English-speaking Caribbean in Wigton. And these contribute about 14% to the national grid. Now, part of our renewable strategy is to get to 30% by 2030. And the Prime Minister, in his wisdom, has said that he would love it to be 50%. So therefore, even at 30%, you can see there's a huge opportunity for anyone who's looking to invest in renewable energies in Jamaica, because we are short about 16% to get to our 30, and then even more if we want to go to 50. So in the first instance, we are looking at requests for proposals, which will be furnished hopefully later on this year, where we will have 320 megawatts of wind or solar. So we're procuring, we want requests for proposals where we'll have 320 megawatts of wind and solar or solar, 120 megawatts of LNG, liquid natural gas, and 74 megawatts of hydro, biomass, or waste to energy. And that is the opportunity that we have currently in front of you. So requests for proposals are supposed to be established. And once those are out, those who are interested, we can give you additional information, and we'll keep you abreast as we move forward with the renewable energy investment. I can see someone said, I second that. So I see that we have persons who are really interested in the renewable energies. And I will now hand over to Ricardo Monroe, who is the manager in public-private partnerships and privatization service from the Development Bank of Jamaica, to give you his presentation. Ricardo?
Thank you, Don, for that introduction. Distinguished guests and participants from China, Pakistan, and Thailand, Good afternoon. Good morning, colleagues from Jamaica. The Development Bank of Jamaica is the government of Jamaica's public-private partnership and privatization agency. In this regard, the DBJ has 4 core functions: transaction management services for the development of PPP and privatization projects, program monitoring and evaluation to ensure that we have a sustainable mechanism to maintain private sector investment capacity in our economy. We provide capacity building and policy development support
提供能力建设和政策方面的一些支持。
Government of Jamaica delivers projects in an efficient and consistent way. We also identify and manage funds for project preparation, which is key to reducing the overall risks that are inherent in some of these transactions. We spend a lot of time doing extensive due diligence before we bring a project to market. Next. The P4 program has 4 core objectives. The first is that we facilitate private sector investments in the economy. Secondly, we broaden the ownership base and direct equity participation from private sector in the economy. The third objective is to improve efficiency in privatized operations. Fourth, we support the government's fiscal debt management program. And lastly, we aim to monetize non-core assets and allow the government to focus on core activities. Here, I will give you an overview of our history in developing and managing the P4 program. So the program was established actually before 2012 because we completed a couple transactions before that time, and I will name them shortly. But officially, the government of Jamaica commissioned and approved its public-private partnership policy in October 2012. Over the period, we have delivered and completed 6 PPP transactions to date. These are the Norman Manley International Airport, the Kingston Container Terminal, Highway 2000, the North-South Highway, the Schools Energy Efficiency and Solar Pilot PPP project, and the Sangster International Airport. The total investment for all these projects amount to over $2 billion US. And since this time, since 2012 to now, Jamaica has, received high commendations from development partners in the region, and where our program is actually ranked 4th among 21 countries in the Americas region. And we are actually proud of this because it's a recognition of our efficiency and strength in delivering and maintaining strong partnerships with the private sector. Next. It is also important for us to note that over the period in our history developing PPPs, no PPP project has been terminated, and all PPPs enjoy relative good health. These are some of the projects that I've mentioned before in pictures. You can see the Kingston Container Terminal, which Don spoke about earlier on your right. The Sangster International Airport in our second city, Montego Bay, has won several awards for delivering excellent services. The Wigton Wind Farm was a privatization project that we concluded a few years ago, and the Norman Manley International Airport, which is one of our newest public-private partnerships. That's an airport in Kingston. I will now move to telling you about a very interesting project that we currently have under development. This project is the Integrated Solid Waste Management PPP project. This project is intended to be a design, build, finance, operate, and maintain and transfer PPP solution to bring island-wide waste collection services, to develop and operate 2 waste-to-energy plants of approximately 70 megawatts, and to develop a sanitary landfill to provide a holistic service on the island. This project is primarily aimed to divest the government's current responsibility for managing solid waste in the country, and therefore allow the government to focus on regulating the sector. We believe in this scenario that the private sector has significant capacity to manage waste in a more efficient and environmentally friendly way. And we want to leverage the resources and the expertise of the private sector in this regard. We note that several Chinese firms have expressed an interest in this project to date, and we welcome the opportunity to invite all Chinese firms that have an interest in this project to visit with us soon when we open the project officially. So what have we done to date? So we have spent significant time over the past year doing due diligence on the project. To date, we have completed a waste characterization study. This was actually completed in March of this year. And this study gives comprehensive data on the island's municipal and industrial and commercial solid waste. And it justifies the viability of the waste energy solution that we're planning for the PPP. The business case and transaction structuring for this project is currently underway, and we expect the business case to be completed in early summer this year. So this is around June or August, and we expect thereafter to open the transaction phase for this project later on this year around November. We have planned several market sounding activities where we will, before the business case stage is concluded, we plan to engage with private sector partners to acquire feedback to help us in the structuring of the project. And we also plan a more extensive initiative to invite international potential bidders to Jamaica to view the project from our eyes. So we look forward to receiving partners from India, Pakistan, and Thailand to look at this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo, and excellent work there. We now move to Glaister Cunningham, Vice President of Enterprise Development and Performance Monitoring from the National Water Commission. Glaister? Oh, and I'll remember, if you want to put any questions, you can put it in the question and answer box. We'll look at it and try and answer the questions at the end, because there's a question and answer at the end. And also for interpretation, if you want to hear it in Chinese, just click on the interpretation and you can get that. All right, just a little plug there, Glaister. Sorry.
Not a problem. Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you for welcoming me to be a part of this very important presentation. Good morning to all our esteemed guests and colleagues, wherever you are in the world. Good day. Before I start, I just want to explain a little bit about the NWC We are a statutory body, government owned, and we are the primary provider of potable water supply and sewage collection and treatment services in Jamaica. We supply about 75% of the population with piped water through about 1,000 water supply facilities. And we have an island-wide coverage for sewerage at about 24%. And we do that through around 68 wastewater treatment plants. Although we're government owned with the normal associated economic and social objectives, we are mandated to operate as a commercially viable company. This comes with certain challenges. As you can imagine, many utilities, or most utilities around the world, suffer from the same kinds of challenges that we do. But in managing those two objectives, we have still managed to prepare a capital development program which intends by 2030 to increase access to potable water to 85% and to increase our sewerage coverage to 50%. Next. The challenges, as I mentioned, are many. Summarized, as you see in the slide there. Funding is a challenge. Given our mandate to operate as an independent company, we enjoy no government subsidies. Currently as well, we don't get guarantees from government for our loans, and we are expected to go and seek financing by various mechanisms independently. As is the case with most utilities in the region, the tariff that we currently enjoy is not adequate to support the investments that are required for infrastructure renewal and new investments for the foreseeable future. So we are having to find ways to be innovative and proactive in seeking financing for our projects. We also suffer from, culturally, in some areas, not all, a lack of willingness or even ability to pay for water supply. As such, we depend heavily on our customers that do pay to provide the resources that we need to invest. Technically and operational challenges, we have infrastructure that in many areas is quite old, beyond their useful life. And it is quite a challenge on a day-to-day basis to maintain that infrastructure. Our financing options, would I say limited? No, they are varied. I will explain. We have our own internal resources that we earn from the revenue from our tariff. And we also benefit from what is referred to as the K-Factor program, which is a program that was agreed with our regulator, the Office of Utility Regulations. And what the K-Factor is a surcharge on the water and sewerage bills that we charge to our clients. It's currently set at 20%. And that money is earmarked for reducing non-revenue water across our system. I will explain what that is for our viewers that are not aware of what it is shortly. It's also earmarked for rehabilitating select wastewater treatment plants across the country and expanding the sewer collection network in Kingston and St. Andrew, which is our capital. Based on the efficiencies gains from doing these projects, our customers are rewarded with what's called an X-Factor, which is a payback to the customers for that 20% surcharge, which is currently set at 5%. Next. One of the projects that we are pursuing at the moment is an island-wide non-revenue water reduction program. I'll take a minute to describe what that is, as I promised earlier. Non-revenue water as in water that is abstracted, treated, and distributed, but for which the entity does not receive revenue. And that happens in a number of ways, but it's primarily split into two areas. One is called physical losses, and the other is commercial. Physical losses is, in essence, leakage or overflows from tanks, water that is lost physically Commercial losses can be summarized as water, whether metered or unmetered, that people don't pay for. And the split in our circumstances is about 75-25 respectively. An NRW program, which seeks to reduce those losses, tends to follow three phases. There is an audit phase, an execution phase, and a sustainability phase. In the audit phase, what the contractor seeks to do is to identify the sources of your losses and the volumes that are lost. But how they do that is by taking the large area, whatever that project area is, and reducing it into smaller segments, metering the inputs and the outputs from those segments to make more informed estimates of the losses through each segment of the larger area. From that, the project moves into the execution phase, which involves activities like leak identification, leak reduction, improved metering, upgrading of meters, etc. And in some cases, even pipe replacement, repair of tanks, and those kinds of things. Then there is the sustainability phase. That is considered as a best practice and a very important phase, because historically, it's relatively easy to take measures to reduce leaks. The problem is the maintenance of those reductions going forward. So the project, as I said, in a nutshell, involves those three stages. The project we are going to pursue now, the island-wide, follows on two prior projects that were undertaken by the NWC. We recently concluded the Kingston and St. Andrew non-revenue water reduction program. It was considered a successful program. It costed about $45 million and resulted in a reduction in percentage terms from about 64% to around 40%. That program was finished in November of 2021. And on the heels of that, we pursued another program in Southeast St. Catherine, or Portmore, which is a $13 million program. And that has been in execution for just over a year. We're already starting to see results from that program, and we're very happy with it. The thinking now is to expand that to the entire island. Why? Because Jamaica has one of the highest non-revenue water levels in the region. It's somewhere around upwards of 70%. Now, as you can imagine, that threatens the sustainability of the organization and would for any organization. So it's a high priority for us. This program, we intend to reduce from that 70+% to what we consider a optimum economic level of about 30%. And we anticipate that program to be about 15 years for the entire island, though it may be tackled in phases. The budget for that program is $300 million, and the financing will come primarily from the K-factor resources that I just described. Now, that will be the initial spend. The interventions that are done by an NRW program are so impactful that that entire $300 million does not have to come from your initial resources alone. What happens is, as the work progresses, the project then becomes self-financing, which is a big incentive for us to pursue it. The modality that will be pursued is similar to the ones that we're pursuing now, which is a performance-based contract, meaning there is a interrelated or a symbiotic incentive for the contractor and for ourselves to work hard to get the project done, because a large part of the remuneration or the bonus payments are related to the performance of the contract. So we are very excited about that program. We have completed the business case, and it indicates that the project is very feasible. So the next stage we are looking forward to is the preparation of the tender documents, and that we anticipate will be coming out very close to the end of this year. Next. The second program is in the area of wastewater. Now, this project is for the expansion of the Soapberry wastewater treatment plant. Soapberry is the largest wastewater treatment plant in Jamaica and likely the largest in the Caribbean, I suspect. It is run by the Caribbean Wastewater Treatment Company, which is a joint venture between the NWC and a local partner. The split of the shares of that company are 85% owned by the NWC and 15% by the private partner. And the plan is to purchase back that 15% from that partner, own 100% of it, so that we can explore the best option for the expansion of that plant. The intention is to double the capacity from 75,000 cubic meters to about 150,000 cubic meters. The project impacts just over 250,000 persons now. And with the economic development that we anticipate in the areas surrounding the plant, which are Kingston, St. Andrew, Southeast St. Catherine, and the greater Spanish Town area, we anticipate that the impact will be now on about 500,000 persons. That plant we are intending for it to be utilized almost 100%, meaning the effluent from that plant, which is currently just let out to the environment after treatment, we anticipate to being able to use the effluent from the plant, treating it to such a level that it can be used in a number of ways, including agricultural use, for example, in irrigation, or you would have heard about the Caymanas Special Economic Zone, where we anticipate a number of industries which could utilize that water in their production processes, cooling water, etc. The project, we are expecting the design to be climate change resilient, and we intend to utilize renewables as part of our energy mix. Given, as you would see on that picture on the top left, given all that space, there are opportunities for solar investment, there are opportunities for wind, there are opportunities for biogas. So we're very excited about this program as well. The status of the program currently is that we have finalized negotiations and should be signing the contract for the business case preparation before the end of this month. And we anticipate that consultancy to take about 5 months. So around about the end of the year, we expect to have the recommendations for how that program is to be pursued, whether it is divestment, whether it is partnership. And the intention is as well to investigate the possibility, following the mandate of the government to have shared ownership by the Jamaican people in our projects, to possibly float some of the shares of the resulting company on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Very exciting program, and we can speak about it more, and you can get information from either the DBJ, JAMPRO itself, or the NWC. There are other projects also further down the wicket for those familiar with cricket terminology. The Southern Town centralized sewerage systems in the parish towns of Maypen, Spanish Town, Mandeville, and Falmouth, which is a fast-growing tourism destination on the North Coast. The philosophy is similar on those projects, where we would improve or implement sewage collection, trunk mains, and collector mains through the roads of those towns, centralized sewage treatment and release to the environment. Those projects, currently the estimates are about $70 million in the case of Falmouth, and the collective project cost for those southern towns is about $500 million US. Next. Finally, we have the Negril Water Supply Improvement Project. Negril, for those familiar with Jamaica, is on the west coast of Jamaica. Very, very popular tourism resort town. Several hotels and with plans in train and construction in train for several more hotels and hotel rooms over the short term. That area is supplied by a 7.5 million gallon water treatment plant known as the Logwood Water Treatment Plant. Jamaica, and Negril in particular, as in many small island developing states, is a minor or insignificant contributor to the precipitants of climate change, but we are significantly affected by climate change. And this is one of what has been happening over the last 10 to 15 years is that our drought periods have been increasing in frequency and increasing in duration. So what the effect on a plant like this one is that during drought periods of that 7.5 million gallon capacity, we are only able to produce 3 to 4 million gallons during that time. That, of course, is very concerning, as I said, because that town is growing, the hotel rooms are growing, and the tourism product is one that you cannot afford to have a shortage of water. So the plan is to develop a 10 million gallon water treatment plant at the Roaring River, close to the Roaring River treatment plant, and to have a pipeline from that to Sheffield and Negril, about 32 kilometers long and about 800 millimeters diameter pipeline. That project, we have a budget of about $105 million US, and the impact would be on about 200,000 persons. We are in the process of developing the business case, and it should be finished by the end of this month, following which we will seek approval. And when we are granted that, we'll seek to prepare bidding documents for promoting that project. That's it for me, I believe. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Glaister. And as you can see, we have a lot of water projects. Glaister is flowing with the water projects. And with that, we will now go to Rashida Winter, who will speak to us about the Greater Bernard Lodge project. Rashida?
Hello, good afternoon and good morning, everyone. All protocols observed. So we'll just move right into the Greater Bernard Lodge, so next. So pretty much this is a privatization transaction. So it's an outright sale of lands to persons. So the government is seeking to identify developers who have the financial and the technical capacity and capability to develop the Greater Bernard Lodge lands. Greater Bernard Lodge is located in St. Catherine. St. Catherine will be one of our bigger parishes. In relation to the main towns, Spanish Town and Portmore will be considered two of the main towns in St. Catherine. The Greater Bernard Lodge lands is already located in an area that is highly developed with a lot of the social services that are required, clinics, schools, different facilities are already located on those lands. We have identified, as Don would have said earlier, about 1,700 acres that the government is seeking to take it. Well, it was originally in sugarcane, but is no longer in sugarcane. But the government now is seeking to do residential activities, light industrial activities, and commercial activities on those lands. So we're now. And those phases looked at selling our residential lots as well as our light industrial lots. Phase 3, which we're anticipating to be about July or September of 2022, we'll be looking at our open spaces blocks, our residential blocks, and our industrial blocks. The lands are a little special in that they're kind of environmentally special. The NEPA, our National Environment and Planning Agency, kind of gave us some instructions as to how to develop those lands based on the aquifers that are there and the limestones that are in that location. So once you get the RFP document, it will detail all of that information to better assist you in putting together a proposal to us that is environmentally friendly, that is socially inclusive, that is including our smart city concepts and all of those things in developing these towns. And we really want to see persons purchasing these lands, developing these lands based on the classification, as I said before, and really creating this new city within the St. Catherine area. We're thinking of also doing phase 4 that we're kind of fleshing out in relation to our urban town center. And that town center will really anchor the Greater Bernard Lodge development. It will include many other the usual things that you find in a town, a mall, some bus terminals, maybe a light rail terminal and such. So we'll give you the details of that as we get closer to that and kind of flesh out that thought and that concept and that project. So as I said, right now, we're finalizing our structure, and we're anticipating that between July and September of this year, we'll have those RFPs ready for persons to purchase. This is not a PPP, it's a straight privatization. So it is contemplated that you'll purchase the lands and you develop the lands. And then once you've finished the development, you'll then sell it to private persons or manage those lands yourself, depending on what it is that you're doing. So pretty much that is Greater Bernard Lodge, and I thank you. And that's it for me.
And thank you for that, Rashida. And as you speak about is just a strictly privatization and construction, there's one project that I should mention, and that is the Parliament buildings. The Urban Development Corporation is currently taking invitations to bid on the construction of the new Jamaica Houses of Parliament. So that's an opportunity that I wanted to bring forward. And I will share as much information as I have on it with the Embassy of Jamaica, so that then they can disseminate the information to those who would be interested. We'll also share the presentation as well, so that anyone who wants to follow up, like I said, this is just the beginning. This is just the start of a conversation. We want to have additional conversations with you as we go through the investment cycle. There is also a conference which we have, which is going to be the World Free Zones Organization Conference, which is being held in Jamaica in Montego Bay from June 13th to 17th. If anyone happens to be in Jamaica at that point in time, that would be a good conference to attend, just to giving you some information about that. And we'll share additional information about the conference as well, because it's the first conference being held in Jamaica for 2 years where we're face-to-face. It's being held in Montego Bay, and it's the World Free Zone Organization's AICE 2022 conference, June 13th to 17th. We'll now go to question and answer. I saw one question in the chat, and there are quite a few questions in the chat. Most of them were asking how can they get details mentioned by the projects. I saw where Development Bank of Jamaica did answer a few of the questions to say that they can be, it could be, the details of the projects mentioned may be accessed at the website, the Development Bank of Jamaica website, and quite a few persons. So what we'll do is we will share the presentation as well as the other information that I mentioned on the Parliament building. All information you need, we will share. And any questions, you can reach out to us directly. We're very, we answer quickly. So you reach out to us, we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. There's one question in the Q&A. Can someone translate that for me, please? It's asking about the feed-in tariff of power. John Zhang. If you're asking about, so as it relates to the power, once if you have won you are the preferred bidder for the request for proposals, be it for solar, wind, earth, LNG, hydro, biomass, or waste to energy, what will happen is you will then go into a power purchase agreement, a PPA, with the Office of Utilities and Regulation, as well as our incumbent power energy company, which is Jamaica Public Service Company. Now, Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has the rights to distribution, but they do not have the rights. They have the rights to distribution in Jamaica, but not the right to generation. So you can generate, which is why we are able to have other persons come in and do investments in renewables. But as it relates to now the distribution, you have to go into a power purchase agreement with Jamaica Public Service Company, which will be moderated and regulated by the Office of Utilities Regulation. And we can give more information on that. So that's as it relates to the feed-in tariff power. As it relates to LNG power generation, there's one main company that does LNG in Jamaica, and that is New Fortress Energy. They're the main persons who do LNG. So any information that you want, we too can give you that information. Remember, we're JAMPRO, we're Development Bank of Jamaica and the Jamaican Embassy, and we're your points of contact. So any information that you need, just reach out to us and we will get you that information. We will give you the information as it relates to how you can get there. Is there a railway development plan? There is currently a railway development plan. I know Development Bank of Jamaica has been in discussions as it relates to the railway. Currently, there is looking for, I believe, investment from Montego Bay to St. Elizabeth, which is the Appleton Rum Tour. And is there anyone who can give additional information on it from DBJ as it relates to the railway development plan?
Yes.
Thank you, Rashida.
We're not quite at the RFP stage for that one as yet. We're still finalizing our cabinet submission on that, but we're anticipating that before the end of the year, the RFP for it will come out. And you are right, Don, it is the commercial leg, which is our tourism leg from Montego Bay to St. Elizabeth, the Appleton Rum Tour. So by the end of the year.
Right. Is there any fixed investment return for our power projects? So the fixed investment return would be the PPA, and that is negotiated with the Jamaica Public Service Company, like I said, in collaboration with the Office of Utilities Regulation. So there's no fixed price. You negotiate that price with JPS. So depends on how well you're able to negotiate with the Jamaica Public Service Company.
Okay, but there's no such policy.
There is the integrated resource plan, which we can share, which is a policy that explains to you how we would go about doing any renewables onto the grid, which we can share, and then any questions coming off of that we can share with you.
Thank you.
Okay. There are a few highway road projects that are going on right now, but as if there are any available highway road projects, we will get back to you where that's concerned. Currently, we're in the process of finalizing the highway project from Harborview, which is near to the Norman Manley International Airport, to Yallahs in St. Thomas, and on to Portland. And we're also doing additional highway projects in St. Elizabeth, in Manchester, Williams Field. We're also looking at doing the bypass in Montego Bay, which is St. James, and any other road projects, we'll be sure to let you know about them that you can potentially do a bid. I see as a question from China Exim Bank. Is there a possibility for the sovereign financing represented by the Ministry of Finance of Jamaica to participate in the projects mentioned in the meeting? I am pretty sure we can get back to you with a definitive answer, but the answer right now is there a possibility for the sovereign financing represented by the Ministry of Finance of Jamaica to participate in the projects mentioned in the meeting. We usually tend, if I am interpreting the question correctly, the government of Jamaica tend not to give government guarantees, and we tend to, as it relates to sovereign financing, that is something that that comes on a case by case. So we can't say yes, we can't say no. So it will be on a case by case basis, and it is a question that I will take, and I will follow up with a definitive answer through the Embassy of Jamaica. Okay. Thank you for those flurry of questions. I hope that we were able to answer them as best as possible. And like I said, this is just the beginning. If you have additional questions, please reach out to us. You can reach out to myself. You can reach out to the embassy, Melissa at the embassy. You can reach out to any one of us at DBJ. Or any one of us that is a panelist, and we'll try our best to answer the questions for you. We now move to a video testimonial of a PPP success story by the Kingston Container Terminal, PPP. I see some additional questions coming in. It's asking about obtaining the project information, etc. We'll share all of that information with you through the embassy.
Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited is a local Jamaican company that we started operation in July 2016. And we took over the concession. We won the concession that was presented by the government of Jamaica. We are a main transshipment hub that is in the region, that is linking China to the northern US market and to the Latin American market, and as well from Europe into the Caribbean and to the Americas. But today we can say that we are competing at a high level in the region, and we are achieving a global international performances. And we are positioning Kingston as a main competitive hub. We just crossed this year the 1 million container barrier. We achieved over 1.6 million TEU. TEU is the 20-foot equivalent unit, which is the international measure for volume calculation. What makes us definitely successful and able to achieve whatever we want to achieve is the cooperation and the collaboration between us and the Port Authority and the government of Jamaica.
The opportunity presented itself in 2009, and it actually started from there, where they began to engage the Jamaican government to get into a concession that we have now today in 2015 coming into 2019. It is the location of a hub. So you have the larger vessels that will arrive here, and these larger vessels will break apart into feeding to smaller vessels, which are called feeder vessels. I think Jamaica has benefited in many terms other than the financial one. We also hire staff. So if we grow, Jamaican government stands to benefit even further.
We have 3 berths. We have the north, the west, and the south. Behind us, we have containers that are parked, stacked in the container yard. And these containers are discharged from vessels during various operations. So we have seen the acquisition of new container handling equipment. And that includes 2 new Post-Panamax gantry cranes that are on the South Terminal A and B. Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited has 2 of the most advanced gantry crane systems in the world. These Post-Panamax cranes are used to discharge containers onto the quay and also to load containers from the quay onto vessels. We have also seen the addition of 30 new straddle carriers to our fleet. We have recently introduced a new gate process, which has significantly improved our truck turnaround time.
Thank you. And that was a very successful transaction, which was done by the Development Bank of Jamaica. And we're very happy that we can showcase it. I now bring closing remarks from Denise Arana, the General Manager for the Public-Private Partnership and Privatization Division at the Development Bank of Jamaica. Denise?
Thank you so much, Don, and good morning, good day, good evening to all our online participants. I am sure you'll all agree that this was an excellent event, well executed, informative, and also very interactive, which I found much pleasure in. I am very pleased with the outcome of this event. And I just want to take some time, Don, to thank everyone who made this event possible today. This forum started, it germinated as a mere request from our embassy in Beijing, and it progressed through the reality of today. Along the way, there were numerous calls and discussions and practice sessions and test runs. And now we have completed the first successful staging of this infrastructure forum. This event would not have been a success without our investors and potential partners from Pakistan, China, and Thailand. And we thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today and giving us the opportunity to share some of our infrastructure opportunities with you. It is our hope that you will be reaching out to us, as Don has said, regarding areas of interest to you that have been presented today. The Government of Jamaica, the Development Bank of Jamaica, and JAMPRO stand ready to facilitate your participation and collaboration. To our participants who brought messages, we thank you for your warm greetings, your support, and your kind words and messages of collaboration and cooperation. To our panelists and our moderator, well done. And the information was very insightful and informative. The presentations were clear and had a lot of information. And I'm very confident that these opportunities will be of interest to the investors here today. And I can see that already from the questions that have been asked, and we will ensure that you get all your answers. Lastly, but by no means least, the organizers of this event. I think this is a true testament to what teamwork can bring, the value of teamwork and hard work. JAMPRO, our representatives and our partners, always. Don, thank you so much. Odari Stewart, thank you so much for the hard work on this one. To the DBJ representatives led by our tireless Sharon Craig, and also to Mr. Marlon Johnson. Marlon, thank you so much for handling all the technical aspects of this presentation. And Mrs. Melissa Price and the team from the embassy, thank you. We look forward to working with you again. So once again, in closing, heartfelt thanks, and we look forward to further engagements, which will lead to sustained partnerships and investments in Jamaica. So thank you so much again, and it's over to you, Don.
Thank you so much for those kind words, Denise. I always love it when you close on these lovely, lovely words. So thank you all again. Thank you to my participants. Like I said, I know time is very important, and I want to thank you so much for your time in being able to spend a little a moment with us to have a discussion about opportunities in Jamaica. Is very much appreciated from our side, because we know that time is something that is very valuable. His Excellency Antonio Hugh, thank you so much for allowing the team to be here with us. And as we close, we're going to leave you with just one last look at Jamaica as we close out. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day for the rest of the participants from Pakistan, Thailand, and China.
you.